Hi, me again. Desperately looking for somewhere to film tonight. I don't want to do it in the car. A bit dark in the car. But yeah, on my way to Wetherspoons with my mate tonight. I didn't want to film in there. I didn't know if I'd be allowed. And plus, you don't really want to see me sitting there pounding my way through a cheap tikka masala, do you? It's not very good. Loads of positive comments about yesterday's video down by the canal. So I'll go down there again with you. So I found something similar here. I was just passing through. I've never been here before. Nice, isn't it? But I can't really walk along. Look, it's all fenced in, as you can see. So I can't really. Shame. I suppose I could jump the fence, but it's someone's land. I don't want to get into trouble. Although you'd probably enjoy seeing me get told off, wouldn't you? But yeah, loads of positive comments for that. So I'm glad you enjoyed that. I'll do these walkabouts more often. I'm quite enjoying, as I said, I've said it every time so far, and I'm quite enjoying making these little, quite long videos now. But I find this way more fun than sitting in front of the green screen, which I've got to do some of this weekend for the other channel, TV License Stop. If you're looking for my TV license videos like the ones I used to do, they're all on TV License Stop now. I don't really make them for this channel anymore. These take me long enough, to be fair. But at least there's a lot less editing. With the green screen and that, it's so much effort editing them videos up. It really, really is. Right, so I've got some stuff we can talk about and your comments again, as usual. If I remember to do the comments properly this time, because yesterday's one, I forgot, didn't I? And I was in the car doing the comments. So what was the first story we got? Typical out in the countryside. No signal. Gary Lineker believed he had a special agreement with BBC boss Tim Davie to tweet about migrants. So that comes from John Holmes, his manager, who's worked with Lineker for more than 40 years. He says that Lineker had special permission to tweet about migrants and talk about migrants because it's a very passionate subject for him. If that's the agreement he had, that's the agreement he had. That's why the BBC, Tim Davie had to back down. He had to back down. Everyone thought Tim Davie was weak and he should have stood up to Lineker. I don't think Tim Davie had a leg to stand on. I think if he did, he wouldn't have brought him back. I think he had to bring him back because in his contract he found a loophole or whatever. He had this permission. He's allowed to talk about what he wants. So they couldn't get rid of him. He was, he had him over a barrel, didn't he? He had to bring him back. Or there'd be loads of legal problems and that could jeopardise Tim Davie's career. I don't think Tim had a choice, but in a way it's been good, hasn't it? Because it's really stirred up debate about the licence fee. And loads more people are into this fight. Like from the comments I've seen on these videos and the emails I get through tvlicencestop.co.uk website, loads more people are in it, all thanks to Lineker. So as much as we dislike him, we owe him a thanks for that, don't we? Still not loading that other story. Oh, hang on. I think it's picked up some internet from the past. Here we go, look. Jacob Rees-Mogg demands end of licence fee as forgetful women don't remember to pay it. Not a fan of Jacob Rees-Mogg at all, really. I mean, why is he jumping on this TV licence thing? What's 159 quid to Jacob Rees-Mogg? It's nothing. It's probably not even his lunch. 6 days a week, I doubt that's his lunch. Getting a bit chilly. So who the hell is he to comment? Who the hell is he to say it should be cancelled? You're not one of us, mate. You're not. You're posh, privileged. You're not one of us. And then the women part of it. Don't even get me started. I mean, I don't go in for all this PC stuff and all of that, as you well know, right? But women ain't that forgetful. Try peeing one off and seeing how forgetful women are then when you've peed one off, because they'll be remembering forever every little thing you did. I can testify to that one. So yeah, I don't know. Bloody Jacob Rees-Mogg. Everyone's just jumping on it, aren't they? Everyone's jumping on the licence fee thing to get their name in the brand. Let's face it, Jacob Rees-Mogg jumps on anything he can bloody jump on to get his name in the press and get some interviews anyway. But don't act like you're on our side when 159 quid a year is nothing to you, mate. It's nothing, is it? It's nothing. It annoyed me a bit, that one. I think he only said the women bit just to be controversial. That's all it was. Wasn't it? That's an interesting one. Yeah. TikTok to be banned by UK government from today following China spying fears. So they're going to ban having the TikTok app on your phone if you're a government employee, on your company phone. Why, if you work for the government and you've got a company phone, Would you need TikTok on there? Remind me. Should you be peeing about with TikTok on a company? Should you have anything like that? Do some work. I know the American government have implemented this, coming for that. But it also says in here that the government's looking at banning it nationwide. So a TikTok app won't be available to people in the UK. I think it's a good thing, personally. I've read about it a bit, and I watched China Uncensored on YouTube on here. I quite like China Uncensored, he's all right. And he was talking about how TikTok in China is completely different to the TikTok that we get over in the West. It's completely and utterly different. Over in China is loads of educational stuff and teaching people to, or teaching the kids to be better kids or join the military, stuff like that. Propaganda, obviously. But what do we get on TikTok in the West? We get teenage girls twerking, dance videos, rainbow flags everywhere, which is fine, obviously. No problem with any of that. I work for a very progressive company. I can't tell you who, but if you knew I don't have a problem with that. But it's completely different to what they get in China. And I think they're limited. They have a time limit on it in China. I know TikTok are saying they might bring in a 60-minute limit a day for kids. The kids will just get 2 accounts in. I know. No, it's poison, TikTok. Kids are all over the shop. All kids want to be now is TikTok famous. I've tried it. I can't get it. I just cannot get it. I have no idea what is going on TikTok. No idea at all. No idea at all. I was watching a Matt Walsh there. I like Matt Walsh on YouTube as well, right? Someone just hit my car. Bloody better not have. I like that car. Hang on. Oh, I don't know. I can't go. I'll finish this video, then I'll go and have it. I'm insured. It's all right. And there's a camera in the car anyway, so if someone has, I'll know who it is. But yeah, I was watching Matt Walsh on here and on YouTube on here. I quite like him. And he reviews some of these weird TikTokers. And he was saying, there's like their 1-minute videos, he's saying they're making a cut after every sentence. They can't even pin 2 sentences together to make a video. I have to talk for an hour live. I don't miss anything. It makes a fair point. It's really low rent. I don't get it. I mean, I'm not saying I'm, making bloody good quality stuff here. It's just me sitting on a bench freezing me nuts off talking. I don't know what's going on over in TikTok. Will it get banned? I don't know. Could they ban it? I don't know. It'd be uproar by the kids, wouldn't they, if they did ban it? Uproar from the kids. Don't know. And then another app will come along anyway, won't it? It's not like it's the only place you can get short videos. They're all doing it now, aren't they? Facebook, Instagram. Snapchat's still a thing. Don't know. But I'll be interested to see what happens with that one. Tattoos. Have you got tattoos out there? Do you regret them? People who put a lot of work into tattoos, right, and plan them out and have them drawn and everything. Some of them look really good. I can be quite envious. I quite fancy some of that. But the drunk or idiotic tattoos shouldn't be allowed, should it? I spent a lot of time in Benidorm in the past and Magaluf and that. And you see it. You see them pissed going to get a tattoo and you go, oh, don't do that. I mean, I've done it. I have a drunken tattoo upon my person, so I'm okay to judge. I'm not going to show you it. I have one. Do you see this in the paper? It did make me laugh. Look, Dad who got Tesco club card tattoo has no regrets despite only earning 18 quid in points. He's had the QR code for his Tesco club card. I'll put it on the screen. Look, tattooed on his arm. Oh, I don't know. There's conspiracy theorists out there that will say that's the mark of the beast or something, won't they? But it's just an idiotic thing to do. I mean, how hard is it to not forget your Tesco club card? They give you one that's a key ring, don't they? I've got it on my phone. It's not hard to not forget your Tesco club card. Do you really need the tattoo? I mean, it's a good talking point. He says when he goes to Tesco's and he asks them to scan it, they're like, oh, and it's a good conversation start. I imagine it is. But it's also, I don't know, what happens if you get a new club card? If they change it, or move house, do you get a different club card if you move house? I don't know. That'd be funny. If they changed his club card account, they changed the way it works, or they changed the numbers, so you've got to get a new club card, and he's knackered his arm with a Tesco club card tattoo, isn't he? You ever see Blade? Remember the film Blade with Wesley Snipes in the 90s? Good film, the vampire film. They had a similar, like, sort of QR code tattoo on their wrist, didn't they, to get into the vampire-y nightclubs. I always fancied that, you know. I never did it. I'm glad I didn't do it. But I always fancied it. But that is where I've got my tattoos, on my wrist. But luckily my watch covers it up. I weren't that drunk that I didn't get it where my watch would cover it up. That's why I wear a lot of watches. Now, speaking of tattoos, this one's worse, but it looks a bit fake to me. Bloke's Pornhub tattoo, dubbed trashy and guarantee he'll never get laid again. So it doesn't look real to me, this tattoo. Have a look at it. He's got it on his right hand. So does that mean he's right-handed or left-handed? Because you could see his tattoo if he's right-handed, but would you not want to see the tattoo while you're holding the website in your hand? I don't know. Interesting. I don't know. If you had to have... No, I'm not going to ask what handed. Thought someone was dying. Sounds like a big circular saw going off over there. But yeah, still more interesting stuff in the TV light. What's that true? Still more interesting stuff in the TV lights as well going. There's still loads of debate. The amount of I have Google alerts for it. I have Google alerts for TV license fee, TV license news, TV license, all that stuff. And I've had more emails from those Google alerts in the last couple of days than I have for a long time. Debate's still going on. You want to see the amount of emails that I get from people who are new to this fight and want to know what they can and can't watch. It's great. It's great. I've been waiting for this debate for a while, and I really think we're going to see some change this year. I mean, obviously they can't just straight abolish the TV licence fee because it's chartered until 2027 anyway. So they can't, can they? But they can start doing the paperwork. But as we said before, if they start fiddling with it and they make the decision to not renew the TV licence fee, whoever signs that bit of paper has to be in power all the way until 2027. Because otherwise someone else could just come in, sit in that chair and go, yeah, I ain't doing that. I'm a friend of the BBC, I ain't doing that. They can have more money. That's the problem. That's the problem, isn't it? And public opinion will fade. It will fade unless the BBC do something else. Possible. It's only a matter of time, really, isn't it? Tim Davies seems to be quite safe in his job at the minute. I haven't read anything else about Richard Sharp. I know the employees don't like it. I mean, a lot of the journalists, I read a thing today, BBC journalists have said Tim Davies completely out of touch with events at the BBC. And I made a video on it, it'll be on the other channel at some point in the next couple of days. But I can understand how Tim Davies could be completely out of touch. It's easy to understand. It's a massive company. Think how big the BBC is. It's massive, right? Over there you've got the World Service with its 3 listeners, and over there you've got orchestras and choirs and all those buildings all around the country for local radio, all the staff in those local radio buildings, all the technology, all the infrastructure, all the IT. The thing is massive. It's a huge, huge corporation. How could he possibly know everything that's going on? He's going to be a bit out of touch, isn't he? That's why you have lackeys. All he does is sign stuff off, isn't it? So I get that, I can understand, but he's not coming out of this with some positive PR, this whole Lineker thing. I think that's what's caused it. As I said, I think Lineker had him over a barrel. I don't think he had a choice but to bring Lineker back. I really, really don't. I think he had to. I think he had to. So yeah, it's not going to be the longest one I've done today's video. I don't think. It's nice around here though, isn't it? It's a shame I can't walk along, really. It is a shame. But yeah, it's quite nice around here. I never stopped around here before. But I got some comments, so I thought we'd go through some of your comments again. Not watched BBC for a very long time. Get my fix from YouTube and my DVD collection. I'm dumping Sky next week. Too many repeats. Yeah, I watch a lot of YouTube. Basically live on YouTube now. I'm quite lucky in my work where if I'm having a repetitive day, I do a lot of copy and pasting, a lot of peeing about, that I can have YouTube on the computer screen. Whereas I watch YouTube all day and I watch loads of different channels. I love it. I think it's great. I think it's wonderful that we can watch authentic, real stuff from real people who can publish it themselves. YouTube, I think, is wonderful. For all the bad things you say about it, Google and the advertising and everything, the fact that there's a platform this big that a numpty like me can chuck a video out on the world can watch, well, the world, 20 people can watch. It's good, isn't it? It's good, isn't it? But what you got to remember, mate, not watched BBC for a long time, you're dumping Sky next week. You still got to remember that you can't watch anything that's being broadcast or use iPlayer if you want to cancel your TV licence, all right? You can get Now TV and watch all your Sky stuff on demand if you like, but yeah, just be careful with that. Just cancelled and was directed to this channel. I am wary about the Capita goons turning up, but I'm following all the guidelines of what I can and can't watch without the licence fee. I've cancelled my direct debit with the bank. They advised me to tell Capita I don't want that convo. I love your laid-back approach. Well, if you've been paying by direct debit, call them up, phone them up. Don't be scared to phone them up. They're quite helpful on the phone. They won't give you the hard sell. You know, as long as you know what you can and can't watch, you'll be all right. But you might get a refund. If you pay by direct debit, you tend to pay in advance. They might only be a couple of quid, granted. It's a couple of quid. Yeah, you might get a pint of lager out of it. Oh, look at your profile pictures, a cocktail. You might be able to afford one of those. But I'm glad someone directed you to this channel and you got some info that was useful to you on here. Great. I'm pleased about that. What is wrong with this camera? It's doing my head in. Right. Each time I get a letter, I watch one of his videos for reassurance. I like doing the letters. They're some of the most popular videos on the channel as well, because people get them. There's a lot of people at the minute can't afford to pay the license fee for various reasons and that. So they start getting the letters and they get really scared because they don't know. I mean, when I got my first place, my mum was like, you've got to pay your license fee. That's the one thing. They've got detector vans, you know. You know, it's not true, is it? So, yeah, no, I'm glad. I'm glad people tune in when they see the videos. Well, I'm glad people tune in when they get one of the letters and they get the reassurance. That's the reason I do them. They're a lot of work to edit and that, the letter ones. But yeah, worth it, because they are the ones that genuinely help people. So it's quite funny. Every time you get one, you watch the video reassurance. Thanks to John's excellent advice, I cancelled my licence nearly 4 years ago and haven't missed the BBC at all. It's easy to stay within the rules, as there's so much normal TV available and catch up on other providers. Blah, blah, blah. Carl, have I really been doing it this long? 4 years. I think the first video I made when I was sitting on the sofa in my old little flat, that's like 5 or 6 years ago now. No, I did honestly mean that to be the only video. It's something I learned from a YouTuber on here called the Watch and Observer 76. He doesn't do tele-license stuff anymore. It's called the Brit MRE or something now, and he does stuff like that. But yeah, he taught me everything I know. And then TV License Resistance Forum used and abused me a little bit, but I think they quite accept me now, and I learned a lot from there. That's a lot. 4 years. Well, you saved a few quid as well, you know. If we bump into each other, you owe me a pint. 4 years of saving 159 quid. Lovely. Great channel. Hope your dad's okay now. I had a few messages like that. I talked about my dad and his cancer, didn't I, when I was sitting by the canal yesterday. And I said they kicked me out of the house because they wanted to move to... They always planned to move to Spain. They always planned to move to Spain, but when it all happened, they didn't have enough money to do it properly, to not have to work and that. But they did in Bulgaria. They bought a big old house. It was about 25 grand, big four. I'll put a picture on. 4 or 5 bed. They had a turret and everything. Nice house. Wasn't for. I didn't like it. I spent a few months at a time out there. It wasn't for me. Whole Bulgaria thing. But yeah, it did come back. His cancer did return. He didn't do his check. You know what blokes are like, right? He just sat out in Bulgaria in the sun drinking beer and ignored it. Blokes, now. I mean, what are you going to do? And yeah, it came back. So they eventually come back to the UK. He did get quite poorly again, but he still didn't tell anyone, right? I even took the whole family. I come into a few quid, and I took the whole family on a holiday to Mallorca, and he was really poorly. He could barely walk, and all he was just saying is, "Oh, I've got a bad back," or something like that. But a couple of months later, he was gone. But yeah, all right, I was talking to him, and he was all right. He was compass all the way up till the end. He was just happy that he had those extra 5 years, because those 5 years, he said, were the best he ever had. Him and my mum, just him and my mum, in Bulgaria on a new adventure, peeing about in the garden, getting to know each other again, because I don't think he was the best husband in the world. Some of the stuff was fantastic. But I think he made up for a lot of it in them days. So he was really thankful for those extra 5 years that he had, because it was a big operation that he had the first time around. Big operation. They cut a lot of his trachea and all this bit out. Yeah, and he was a big lad, like big fat publican, and he was like well skinny by the end of it. So yeah, he got 5 years. He was dead happy about that. He was thankful for his extra 5 years. So there's a few adventures. I remember I was learning to drive when he was going for his chemo, and we'd gone in. He was sitting in the passenger. I'm not sure it's legal if you just come out of a chemo thing. He's sitting in the passenger seat, and I'm driving back, and I've stalled on a roundabout in Colchester, and I got hit up the arse in my Metro, and I'm like full panic, right? And he's like, "Look, don't worry." And he's not well. He's got the chemo thing on his arm. He's calming me down, and he's making it all better. He was all right. He was all right. But yeah, we had good fun those 5 years. He was thankful for it. So yeah, if you're wondering about what happened to it, that's what happened. Forgot to say, John, that story about Dad bought a lump to your throat. Yeah, I had a few of those. As I said. Keep doing what you're doing. You convinced me to cancel our BBC licence a few days ago. Well, Lineker helped. Oh, good. Okay, make sure you watch the main one. Click the ChilliJonCarne name on the channel, and there's like the heavily produced one. No one's, well, I don't know why no one's watched it. I thought it was quite good. It's everything you can watch and everything you can do without a TV licence. Make sure you understand that, because I'd hate for you to get into trouble. And when the goons come knocking, blank them, completely blank them. And yeah, Lineker has helped quite a few people find me and cancel the licences, plain. So good, yeah, I'm glad about that. Hi John, what do you think about the announcement that BBC are allowing people to watch the coronation without a licence? Do you think it's a trap to see how many people are capable of watching who haven't got a licence? Well, I think anyone who owns a telly or a computer is capable of watching. But it's not about being capable of watching, it's about if you watch. But there is an answer on here, someone's beat me to it. Look, the exemption is not for private homes, it's for churches, community. That's what I understand anyway. I'm still waiting for clarification, but as far as I understand it, yeah, it's not for private homes, it's for community, stuff like that. About 35 years ago, the London Electricity Board were sending letters to my dead mother with deceased in brackets, blimey. When they asked me where they could find Mrs. Deceased, the letters only stopped when I gave them the address of the cemetery and the plot number. Blimey. Obviously, I don't know if they sent letters there. It just reminded you, mentioned, yeah. I made a video about that lady, it's on the other channel, I'll put it on today. That's a sad state of affairs, though, isn't it? What a sad thing. It's bad enough for the mum that she hasn't seen her daughter for 14 years. And bloody TV licensing, sending letters. So, but yeah, so you informed TV licensing that, it's not funny really, but you informed TV licensing that your mum was deceased. And they just put deceased in brackets and kept sending the letters. I'd like to see one of them. If you still got one, send it over. I'd like to see that. Bloody ridiculous, isn't it? Oh look, I'm all out of questions, and I remember to do them, and I've still got battery in this thing. I've ordered another one of these cameras. I quite like it, but I've had this one a couple of years. It just sat in a box, never used it, and I think it's knackered its battery. It's an Osmo Pocket. Really like it. It's got a little gimbal. Look, if I wave it about, and it locks onto my face. I like it on a long stick. So yeah. Anyway, I'm going to pack up now. I'm going to go to Wetherspoons and go and have a curry with my mate, because that's what I do on a Thursday. So. I'm going to do a meet-up because I'm not going to be working around this way much longer, so I'm going to try and arrange a meet-up. We'll go meet in a Wetherspoons or something and have a couple of beers, can't we? A few people have asked me because they've seen me in a Malden area, so while I'm still down there, because I'm not going to be down there for much longer, I'm just on a contract, so yeah, I think we'll organise a meet-up in Malden Wetherspoons or something, eh? And if you're local enough, you can come and have a beer. A few people asked about my sister's pub, whether they can come down for opening night on that, and I would happily invite her, but it is proper in the middle of nowhere, and I'd feel so guilty about people coming down that way, because it's bad, it's really bad. I mean, I said she's out in the Dengie area, and Malden's like not exactly not in the middle of nowhere, is it? But it still takes like over half an hour through the country lanes to get there, so I don't think she's going to be busy, but it's sort of on a caravan park, a holiday and residential caravan park. So she might do all right in the summer. It's just the winter I worry about. But she got a very good deal on it. So we'll see. We'll see. We used to have a lot of pubs, but I say my dad sold up. Good God, what year was that? Like 20 odd years ago now. We sold up because my dad got poorly. And my uncle was in the business as well. And he sold up and he retired to Spain. So we haven't had pubs in the family for like nearly 20 years. And I think she missed it. She was the natural successor to my dad, my sister. She's like the natural publican. Crap with money, but a natural publican. Like we had a really busy pub in Malden called the Welcome Sailor. Really busy it was. It's like a license to print money. And I used to DJ on a Friday night, or we had another DJ on a Friday night. And one night I remember it all kicking off on the dance floor. It's like the football team or the rugby team or something. And I just hid behind the DJ, but I ain't having nothing to do with that. And my sister just went steaming in the middle, just pulling people left, right and centre. They all respected her. So yeah, she's an actress. So I wish her the best of luck with it. I'm going to go down there on the weekend, hopefully. So I might make a video down there, show you around, and I'll do my wandering about video down there so you can have a look maybe. I'm going to go and see me mum. I think it's Mother's Day Sunday, isn't it? So probably going to go Clacton on the weekend. So you might even get to meet me mum. You never know. Right, I think I'm going to wrap it up there because, you know, it's getting late and I want a curry. Can't have a pint because I'm driving tonight. That's the sad part of it. That's the sad part. Nice no alcohol beer with me curry. Delicious. Anyway, so thanks for watching. Let me know what you think about this one. I'm sorry I couldn't walk about very much. Bit hemmed in. I saw this place. I was just driving past. I was desperately looking for somewhere to film. And I thought, oh, look at that canal again. I think it's a river more than a canal. I'm all fenced in, gutted. But I wouldn't mind having one of them houses over there. Look at that, look. Those houses lead right on. Lovely. Yeah, wouldn't mind having one of them. Yeah. Struggling to afford to buy a one-bed flat, a bloody mansion in the countryside, wherever I am. I don't even know where I am. Right, anyway, I'm going. Thanks for watching. Leave your comments below. I'll read them all and I'll pick a few out to do in the next video. Ta-da.